Welcome back to Houston Life. History is about to come alive in a way you've never seen before. Texas artist Dirk Strangely is debuting a stunning new art series, Souls of the Titanic, where real Titanic artifacts aren't just inspiration, they are the art itself.
So fascinating. And for one night, you can experience this immersive journey through history, music, and an unforgettable first-class dinner. Dirk joins us now with more on how he is honoring the more than 100 years since the tragic sinking of the Titanic. This is really interesting, the concept of Artifactism. So this is an art genre where historical artifacts aren't just inspiring the work, they become part of the work?
That's right.
And is this like a concept that you created?
It is.
Wow.
Okay, so talk to us, like, where did this come from and where did your fascination with the Titanic begin?
So I've come to find out that with Titanic, people get the bug. And once you start looking into Titanic's history, it pulls you in. And there's so many fascinating things about it. I wanted to connect people as closely as I could to this series as possible because I was drawn into it. So I want other people to kind of experience that with me. And this is the artifact that one of the artifacts I used in the creation of the series.
So tell us what that is. That's a piece of coal?
This is a piece of coal that was recovered from the wreckage in the 1994 expedition. And it's authenticated by RMS Titanic, Inc., who is the only legal entity able to authenticate and actually go down to the wreckage at this point.
Okay, 1912 era paper? How were you able to use 1912 era paper?
So I found a book that was printed a few months after Titanic sank called The Sinking of Titanic and Other Great Sea Disasters. And I ordered this book because I wanted to use the pages and mount it on, as you can see here. And when I got the book, it was in pretty good condition. And I'm kind of a book nerd. Like, I didn't have the heart to
rip out the pages and
rip out the
put it
page.
on. Yeah.
Exactly. So what I did is I scoured online to find a copy that was kind of falling apart and not in great condition, and I found it. And so that's what I did. The pages were already coming apart. So I found pages that are connected to the passengers that you're seeing.
And, you know, we talk about the Titanic and it's become a gravesite, right, for everybody who lost their lives on that. So how did you actually get it? What was the one thing that really made you want to continue this type of work about the Titanic?
Well, the thing about it is there's this thing right now where people don't want to extract anything from the site because they are saying it's a gravesite. And so I wanted to, like I was saying earlier, wanted to bring people close to this, closest to the series as possible, and there's not going to be more of this. Mm-hmm. You know, this is, I don't think they're going to go back down and do it anymore. So what I wanted to do is give people something tangible they could connect with.
Well, and I think those tangible items as well, it keeps the story of the Titanic alive. It keeps the memory of those who lost their lives alive. In fact, who lost their lives alive. Yes, that did make sense. It just sounded strange. Some of the portraits you've painted, these are of actual passengers from the Titanic, is that correct?
These are. Specifically, these two is Ida and Isidore Strauss. They were the owners of Macy's at the time, and they have the story that I connected to. It's my favorite story. It's romantic. It's tragic. This is the couple where they were putting women and children on the boats, and they were actually going to allow Isidore on the boat, even though it was women and children first, because he was a wealthy man, respected. They were going to let him on, and some of the officers weren't enforcing the women and children so hardcore. And he said, as long as there's women and children not saved on this boat, I can't get on that boat. And she said, and this is a direct quote from witnesses, "We've been together for many years. Where you go, I go." Aww. And they were last seen on the deck in chairs embracing each other as Titanic went down by multiple witnesses.
Oh my gosh.
It's tragic because if you've seen the movie, you get a feel of one story, but there's so many other stories. And I feel like with this artwork, it lets you kind of get to know some of the other passengers, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we're seeing some video on our screen right now. Essentially, this immersive dinner that's coming up on April 14th at Guadalajara's Bar and Grill in Conroe, you want to sort of recreate this feeling of Titanic's final meal in the first class cabin. Is that correct?
That's correct. So that's another way I'm immersing people with this series. And this event started out just to be like an intimate event, just to show my family and friends, but it turned into something so cool. I opened it up to everybody. And I hired a string quartet to play the same music that was being played on Titanic's first class dining saloons by Wallace Hartley, the band leader. So people not only get to enjoy the first class meal on the last day, but they're immersed in the music that was being heard, and then they're surrounded by familiar faces that were on the ship at the time.
It puts them inside of what they may have been experienced. Where can we get info on this?
soulsofthetitanic.com is the best place to check it out right now.
Okay, Dirk Strangely, thanks for stopping by. To connect with Dirk and purchase your tickets to see Souls of the Titanic, that immersive dinner, we've linked everything you need to know on our website, HoustonLife.tv. Just look for that scene on Houston Life section.
So cool.